6 reasons painted driveways fail. My name is Levi, and I resurface old crumbling driveways using a pressure washer, a wheelbarrow of cement mortar, and bare 1-part epoxy from Home Depot. I love doing this kind of work, and I plan to epoxy my driveway when I buy my own house someday. But if you look in the comment section of my videos or videos like them, or if you read online reviews for these concrete paints, it doesn't take long to notice that there are a lot of negative comments. There are also many negative reviews on Google and store websites for most concrete paints out there. Lots of people are saying that they tried painting their driveway and it failed for them, and they are warning you not to try it yourself. In this video, I'm going to explain the top 6 most common reasons why painted driveways fail. Reason number 1, doing the work in the wrong weather conditions. This kind of work is definitely seasonal. I live and work in Western Oregon, and I hate it here sometimes. The weather on this side of the Cascades is miserable, unpredictable, and a huge cause for depression, potholes, and complaining. I have had at least 3 of my driveway restorations fail within the first year because I chose to do the work in December or February, something I will never do again. Trust me, if you get harsh rainy seasons where you live, it's probably best to only perform this kind of work starting in May and going as late as September, but the ideal months are just July and August. If any rain is predicted within 24 hours of you putting paint down on your driveway, don't do it. On the other hand, extreme heat can also ruin your work. Temperatures over 90 degrees will usually dry out mortar and epoxy too quickly, leading to a decrease in strength. In higher temperatures, you have to frequently mist your mortar with a hose or else put some cloth over it so the sun doesn't dry it out too quickly. Most cans of concrete paint also warn you not to paint in temperatures over 90 degrees. This just means jobs take a little longer because on a very hot day, you have to start rolling your paint after 3:30 p.m. or so when the hottest time of the day has passed. Reason number 2, premature abrasion. In other words, driving on it too early or rolling trash bins over it too early. It's okay if you carefully walk on the painted surface one day later, but vehicles and trash bins must be kept off for at least 7 days. The paint actually has to cure, similar to how cement cures over time. It dries to the touch very fast, but that doesn't mean it's done curing. If you're using the same product as me, the bare 1-part epoxy, it says on the bucket to wait 7 days before subjecting the painted surface to vehicle traffic. I have spoken to someone who was ranting against painted driveways because theirs had failed. I asked them if they drove on it within 7 days of performing the work, and they said that they drove on it the same day because, quote, it felt dry. Related to this problem is the issue of studded tires. If you're someone who likes to use studded tires in the wintertime, a painted driveway probably isn't a good idea for you. The studs will definitely eat up the paint. So if you want both a painted driveway and winter studs on your tires, I would recommend parking your vehicle along the street side until you have the studs removed. Or go ahead and drive on the painted surface, and after the studs have done their damage to the driveway paint and you've had the studs removed, just roll another 1 or 2 coats over the damaged areas. Reason number 3, your driveway was not sufficiently cleaned and degreased before applying the paint. Pressure washing is almost always necessary, and it sure makes cleaning off the moss a whole lot easier. But what's equally crucial to cleaning your driveway before painting it is degreasing. Old concrete usually has lots of salts, grease, algae, mildew, and random chemicals inside that need to be neutralized before applying paint. Industrial purple degreaser can be bought at any Home Depot or Lowe's. In some cases, a dirty driveway might not peel up everywhere, but instead, it will just discolor like this and look very ugly. Reason number 4, owner mistreatment. Even if you do everything right when cleaning, crack filling, and painting your driveway, there are still things you should never do to it after the fact if you want it to last. Do not pressure wash it. Depending on how it's used, a pressure washer will usually rip the paint off, and this is another one of those things I've heard homeowners have done and then blamed the company that made the driveway paint. Another thing you have to avoid is using steel shovels on the painted surface. Go to the hardware store and get a plastic snow shovel. Reason number 5, not enough layers of concrete paint. If I could give only one piece of advice to someone who is about to paint their driveway, it would be this. Just apply more layers. I understand that some of these driveway paints are quite pricey, but you will be paying more money later down the road if you get stingy and only put one layer of paint down. I made a tutorial for this sort of work a while back, and I said in that video that 3 layers was enough. But I should clarify here that 3 layers is the minimum. Do not put down more than 3 layers of paint in a single day though. It's good for the layers to cure overnight before applying more. 3 layers of driveway paint is a minimum. 10 is probably overkill. A sweet spot is 5 or 6. Please remember to mix in anti-skid additive to your final layer of paint, because me and the paint companies are not responsible for anyone slipping on these surfaces. Although slipping is not even a problem, because older driveways are so rough and chewed up that even after 5 layers of paint, it can still be quite slip-proof. But it's better to be safe than sorry. Please check the description of this video for an Amazon affiliate link to my favorite anti-skid additive. Reason number 6, gravel on the painted surface. This one deserves its own spot on the list because a lot of homeowners have gravel right next to their driveways as part of some landscaping or as a way to extend the width of their driveway. If you're one of those people, it might be a good idea to sweep gravel off your painted driveway every now and then because, over time, the weight of your vehicle pressing the rocks into the paint can certainly ruin it. Perhaps you can put in some kind of divider between the gravel and concrete to help prevent gravel getting onto the painted surface. Lastly, here's a bonus reason. It's called time. Nothing is maintenance-free. Nothing lasts forever, and concrete paints are no different. The term maintenance-free has become a big buzzword in recent decades, but it is nothing more than a marketing ploy. Some amazing new building materials claim to be maintenance-free. Well, if it's new, then how can we be so sure it's maintenance-free? Give it 10, 15, 30 years, and come back to prove that to me. The most common question I get about my driveway resurfacing work is, how long does it last? And I'm not entirely sure. It depends on what kind of vehicles drive on it over the years, what objects are dragged over it, whether or not someone decides to use a metal snow shovel instead of a plastic one. It also depends on the incline of the driveway. Another factor would be the age of the concrete that's been painted and how bad the soil settling is beneath the concrete. How many times a car with studded tires has driven onto it? It's nearly impossible to say with certainty how long a painted driveway will last, and there's only a little info online regarding the lifespan of the dozens of concrete paints that are available from places like Home Depot, Lowe's, Sherwin-Williams, and even Walmart. But if done properly, I would give most painted driveways a 5 to 10 year lifespan before they really start to look bad and require a couple new layers of paint. After those new layers are applied over the peeled paint, it can easily last another 10 years. So it's well worth the time and money, in my opinion. Painting your driveway is becoming more and more popular every summer. I remain shocked that I have 2 videos about driveway resurfacing on my channel, which have gone viral. Thank you so much for watching. Please check out my other videos and share them on your social media. Until my next video, God bless.